Imagine walking along a peaceful bridge on a bright morning when, out of nowhere, a stranger violently shoves you into oncoming traffic, then vanishes without a trace. That's exactly what happened in one of the most chilling unsolved cases of recent years. In May 2017, on the bustling Cambridge Bridge in New York, a woman was enjoying a routine morning walk when a male jogger, running in the opposite direction, suddenly and forcefully pushed her into the road. It was completely unprovoked. She stumbled backwards straight into the path of a speeding city bus. The driver reacted in an instant, swerving just in time to avoid a fatal collision. The bus screeched to a halt as passengers rushed out, horrified by what they had just witnessed. Meanwhile, the jogger? He didn't stop. He didn't turn back. He just kept running as if nothing had happened. But what happened next made the case even stranger. 15 minutes later, the same jogger was spotted running on the opposite side of the bridge. The woman, still shaken and in disbelief, confronted him directly, but instead of reacting or even acknowledging her, he simply looked past her and kept moving like she didn't exist. Security cameras had captured the entire event, and the footage quickly went viral. The internet erupted with outrage, calling for justice. The suspect's appearance was clear: his clothing, his build, even his general facial structure. Yet despite an extensive police investigation, no one could identify him. Authorities arrested multiple individuals based on leads, but all were eventually released. After a year of searching, reviewing hours of CCTV footage, interviewing witnesses, and investigating over 50 persons of interest, the case hit a dead end. In 2018, the police officially closed the investigation, stating that without new evidence, they could go no further. So who was the phantom jogger? Some theorists believe he acted on impulse, possibly suffering from an undiagnosed condition or under the influence of unknown substances. Others suggest he may have planned the attack, knowing how to escape without a trace. The most unsettling theory, that he had done it before or would do it again. For the woman who barely survived, the attack left lasting trauma. And for the public, it raised a terrifying question. How could a man commit such an act in broad daylight on camera and simply disappear? Years later, the mystery remains. But with advancements in digital forensics, facial recognition, and AI-driven investigations, one question lingers. Will the phantom runner ever be unmasked?
It started with a scream. Not just any scream, but a raw, gut-wrenching cry that echoed down the icy slopes of Tamarack Ridge. Within minutes, 6 hikers lay dead, their bodies twisted in agony. And to this day, no one knows what truly happened on that mountain. On August 5th, 1993, an experienced hiking group led by Leona Petrova set out on an expedition in the Tamarack Ridge of eastern Russia. They were seasoned adventurers, well prepared for the journey ahead, but by nightfall, only one of them, Valeria Utkov, would live to tell the tale. What she described was something out of a nightmare. At an altitude of 2,300 meters, as the group made their descent, one of the hikers, Kirill Sokolov, suddenly let out an unearthly scream. His eyes and ears began to bleed, foam poured from his mouth, and his body convulsed violently before he collapsed, lifeless. Panic set in. Leona, the group leader, rushed to help him, but was struck down by the same horrifying symptoms, convulsing before crumpling on top of Kirill. Another hiker, Pavel Markov, clutched at his throat, struggling to breathe. In a chilling moment of desperation, he crawled toward a rock and repeatedly slammed his head against it before falling still. The remaining hikers, Sasha Belov and Dmitry Voronov, tried to flee, but they didn't get far. Both collapsed mid-sprint, vomiting blood, tearing at their clothes as if something was burning them from the inside. Utkov and another hiker, Viktor Shatkin, made a desperate escape attempt. But moments later, Viktor collapsed, writhing in agony before going still. Utkov, now the only survivor, staggered away in terror, eventually finding shelter and awaiting rescue. When authorities arrived days later, what they found only deepened the mystery. The hikers weren't victims of hypothermia. Their symptoms suggested poisoning, but from what? There were no signs of contaminated food or drink. Some theorized that they had unknowingly wandered into a secret military test site, stumbling upon something they were never meant to see. Others believed they had been exposed to a nerve agent, similar to those used in chemical warfare, causing instant violent reactions. Another theory pointed to natural causes, a sudden release of toxic gases from the mountain itself suffocating the hikers in an invisible deadly cloud. But there was no concrete evidence of this either.
The Lake Baikal swimmers, a mystery beneath the depths. Beneath the icy surface of Lake Baikal, something watches, something not human. In 1982, a Soviet military diving team conducted routine exercises in the world's deepest and most ancient freshwater lake. But what they encountered 50 meters below the surface was anything but routine. The divers described massive silver humanoid creatures nearly 10 feet tall. They had elongated bodies, strange translucent helmets, and moved with incredible speed. The creatures made no hostile movements until the divers attempted to capture one. What happened next was catastrophic. With unnatural force, the humanoids propelled the divers upward, sending them rocketing toward the surface. Due to inadequate decompression, 3 of the 7 men died of the bends, a painful condition caused by rapid ascent from deep waters. The remaining survivors were left shaken and terrified. The Soviet military swiftly classified the incident. No official reports were released, no explanations given. But whispers of the Lake Baikal swimmers began spreading among locals and military personnel alike. And this wasn't the only sighting, fisherman's nightmare. Nikolai Kiv, a fisherman from the nearby village of Kuluk, recounted an eerie encounter in the 1990s. During a nighttime fishing trip, he and his crew witnessed something enormous moving beneath their boat. The water churned violently. A dark shape bumped against their vessel, nearly capsizing them. Desperate, they cast their nets, hoping to catch whatever lurked below. But instead of ensnaring a fish, they saw a glimmer of silver and immediately cut their nets, fleeing back to shore. They never returned to that part of the lake again. Ancient legends and forbidden waters. Even before these modern encounters, ancient Siberian folklore spoke of pharaohs of the lake, mysterious water beings with human-like faces, clawed hands, and fish-like tails. According to legend, the villagers once captured 50 of these creatures, but after whipping them with birch rods, they vanished, never to be seen again. Were these creatures extraterrestrial, an undiscovered species, or something else entirely? The Russian government has never confirmed nor denied the existence of the Lake Baikal swimmers. To this day, reports of strange humanoids, unexplained disappearances, and mysterious lights beneath the water persist. One thing is certain, something is lurking in Lake Baikal, and those who get too close might not make it back to shore. The case of Gloria Ramirez remains one of the most baffling medical mysteries in history. Scientists have long debated how a transformation of chemical compounds could have occurred naturally in her body. Normally, breaking and reforming chemical bonds requires external factors such as heat or laboratory conditions, and no known biological process can facilitate such a reaction in vivo. This scientific gap has left many researchers skeptical, leading to numerous alternative theories about what transpired that fateful night in the emergency room. Some speculate that Ramirez was exposed to an unknown toxic substance before arriving at the hospital. Others suggest she may have been involved in an illegal chemical experiment, or that hospital staff unknowingly came into contact with a hazardous contaminant unrelated to Ramirez herself. Despite extensive research and debate, no theory has been conclusively proven. The case remains an eerie reminder that even with modern advancements, some mysteries continue to defy explanation. To this day, the true cause of Ramirez's toxic effect on those around her remains a subject of intrigue and speculation. Bryce Laspisa's disappearance is one of the most perplexing and heartbreaking missing person cases in recent memory. 11 years have passed since his car was discovered near Castaic Lake, yet no trace of him has ever been found. His final movements, shrouded in mystery, continue to haunt both investigators and his loved ones. On August 30th, 2013, Bryce, a 19-year-old college student, vanished without a trace while driving home from Sierra College near Sacramento to Orange County, where his parents lived. His life in the weeks leading up to his disappearance painted a concerning picture. He had been struggling with personal issues, including a breakup with his girlfriend and reported substance use. His former roommate recalled that Bryce had a history of excessive partying, which had led to his eviction from their dorm the year before. Yet no one could have predicted that he would simply disappear. The timeline of his final hours is filled with inexplicable behavior. On August 29th, Bryce's parents reported him missing after he failed to arrive home as expected. Authorities later found him parked by the roadside near Bakersfield at around 8 p.m. They searched his car but found no drugs or alcohol. Despite his odd behavior, officers did not detain him or insist he go home. Instead, they let him continue his journey, a decision that would only deepen the mystery. At around 2 a.m. on August 30th, Bryce made a final call to his parents, saying he was driving south on Interstate 5 but was uncertain of his location. His worried mother assumed he would be home soon, but he never called again. By morning, his parents' concern turned into panic.
Hours later, authorities discovered Bryce's crashed car near Castaic Lake. It had gone down an embankment, landing on its side. Strangely, there was no sign of Bryce inside or nearby. His wallet, phone, and other belongings were still in the vehicle, suggesting he had not planned to leave permanently. However, there were no footprints leading away from the crash site. Despite extensive searches, nothing was ever found. Numerous theories have emerged over the years. Some believe Bryce may have succumbed to the elements, while others suspect foul play. Another theory suggests he walked away voluntarily, attempting to start a new life. His parents remain dedicated to finding him, never giving up hope that he is still alive. But without new evidence, the case remains as baffling today as it was in 2013. His disappearance serves as a haunting reminder that people can vanish without a trace, leaving only unanswered questions in their wake.
The mystery of Joanna Lopez. Joanna Lopez remains one of the most enigmatic missing persons cases in Chicago's history. Her disappearance is shrouded in eerie uncertainty, known only through two mysterious television broadcasts aired in 1989 and 1991. Unlike typical missing person reports, her case has no police records, no media coverage, and no verifiable evidence of her existence beyond those unsettling broadcasts. The mystery of Joanna Lopez. Joanna Lopez remains one of the most enigmatic missing persons cases in Chicago's history. Her disappearance is shrouded in eerie uncertainty, known only through two mysterious television broadcasts aired in 1989 and 1991. Unlike typical missing person reports, her case has no police records, no media coverage, and no verifiable evidence of her existence beyond those unsettling broadcasts. The first known public appearance of Joanna Lopez's missing person notice occurred on January 14, 1989 on Channel 5, a local Chicago news station. In an unusual format, there was no spoken narration, only a silent, grainy black and white image of Joanna Lopez, accompanied by a phone number for information. The photograph was so poor in quality that her defining facial features were nearly indistinguishable. The broadcast lasted approximately 20 seconds before the station signed off, leaving viewers confused. Even more bizarrely, 2 years later, on January 14, 1991, the same broadcast aired again. This time, the image quality was slightly better, but the eerie silence remained. The background played a pre-recorded video of the national anthem just as it had in 1989. Once again, no updates, explanations, or additional details followed. The station signed off, and the mystery deepened. Over the years, internet investigators have attempted to uncover the truth behind Joanna Lopez's case. Reddit users and online sleuths have enhanced the quality of her image, hoping for clues. However, no official missing persons records under her name have been found in Chicago Police Department archives. Some question whether she was ever officially reported missing at all. Attempts to call the number displayed on the broadcasts have yielded no leads. Several theories attempt to explain the anomaly. Some believe she was part of a larger, undisclosed case that was either mishandled or deliberately erased from records. Others speculate that a system failure caused her case to slip through the cracks. A more unsettling theory questions whether she ever existed in the first place. Was it all an elaborate hoax? One of the most disturbing aspects of Joana Lopez's case is the complete absence of information. Most missing persons cases have some form of documentation, police reports, news articles, or statements from friends and family. Yet with Joana Lopez, nothing exists beyond those two eerie television broadcasts. No family has come forward, and no further updates have surfaced. To this day, her case remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries. Whether she is still missing, lost in an unsolved case that was quietly forgotten, or if there is a more sinister explanation, no one can say for certain. The two silent broadcasts remain the only trace of her, leaving behind an unsettling enigma that continues to haunt those who uncover her story. To this day, her case remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries. Whether she is still missing, lost in an unsolved case that was quietly forgotten, or if there is a more sinister explanation, no one can say for certain. The two silent broadcasts remain the only trace of her, leaving behind an unsettling enigma that continues to haunt those who uncover her story. The case of Joana Lopez remains a haunting enigma, one that may never be solved. Whether she is still missing, found, or lost to time, her unexplained disappearance stands as one of Chicago's most perplexing mysteries.
Deep within Romania's Hoia Baciu forest lies a peculiar anomaly known as Poiana rotunda, a perfectly circular clearing where nothing grows. Unlike the dense, twisted trees surrounding it, this eerie patch of land remains barren, untouched by time and nature. Deep within Romania's Hoia Baciu forest lies a peculiar anomaly known as Poiana rotunda, a perfectly circular clearing where nothing grows. Unlike the dense, twisted trees surrounding it, this eerie patch of land remains barren, untouched by time and nature. For centuries, its existence has baffled researchers and unsettled locals, giving rise to chilling legends and theories. Many believe it is haunted, cursed, or even a hotspot for unexplained activity. The Hoia Baciu forest itself has long been associated with strange occurrences, ghostly apparitions, eerie lights, unexplained disappearances, and intense electromagnetic disturbances. Yet, Poiana rotunda remains its most confounding mystery. For generations, villagers have whispered warnings about the clearing, claiming that those who enter may never return. Some believe supernatural forces are at work, while others suspect it may be a portal or even an extraterrestrial landing site. Many locals refuse to set foot in the clearing, fearing the consequences of disturbing what they believe to be cursed ground. Many locals refuse to set foot in the clearing, fearing the consequences of disturbing what they believe to be cursed ground.
There are unsettling stories of shepherds who led their flocks into Poiana rotunda only to vanish without a trace. Others, who dared step inside, reported an overwhelming sense of unease, as though being watched by an unseen presence. Visitors have experienced dizziness, nausea, and a sudden sense of panic upon entering the clearing. Some even claim to have heard disembodied voices or seen shadowy figures lurking just beyond the tree line. One of the most baffling aspects of Poiana rotunda is its unusual electromagnetic activity.
Researchers who have studied the site have recorded significant fluctuations in energy levels, leading some to speculate that the clearing may be a natural energy vortex.
Adding to the mystery, the clearing has been linked to numerous UFO sightings.
Witnesses have described strange lights hovering above the clearing, moving in ways that defy conventional aircraft capabilities. Reports of glowing orbs, spinning discs, and even humanoid figures appearing and disappearing within the clearing's boundaries have surfaced over the years.
In 1968, the forest gained international attention when Emil Barna, a Romanian military technician, captured a series of photographs depicting a metallic, disc-shaped object flying above the area. Many researchers have drawn connections between Barnea's sighting and the countless other UFO reports linked to Poiana Rotunda. Skeptics argue that the clearing's barrenness could be due to natural factors: poor soil quality, underground geological activity, or mineral deposits affecting the electromagnetic field. To this day, Poiana Rotunda remains an enigma. Scientists, paranormal investigators, and UFO enthusiasts continue to study the site, searching for answers. The mysterious vanishing of Lori Jean Deepes. The disappearance of Lori Jean Deepes remains one of Wisconsin's most perplexing unsolved mysteries. On the night of August 19, 1992, Lori was last seen leaving the Fox River Mall in Menasha, Wisconsin. What should have been a routine drive home instead became a haunting mystery that has left her loved ones searching for answers for over 3 decades. Lori was a 20-year-old woman with brown hair and green eyes. Though her contact lenses sometimes made them appear brown, she had a distinctive tribal-style tattoo resembling a squid on her right ankle and multiple piercings in her ears. That night she was dressed in a black sleeveless turtleneck, black and white spandex shorts and black shoes accessorized with silver necklaces, bracelets, anklets and earrings that reflected her unique style. Lori was well liked and responsible, with no known reason to disappear voluntarily. After leaving the mall, Lori drove to her boyfriend's apartment complex on West Wilson Avenue in Menasha, arriving between 10:15 and 10:30 p.m. Inside the apartment, her boyfriend, his sister, and a friend waited for her, hearing her car pull into the lot. Expecting her to come inside any moment, they were puzzled when she didn't appear. Minutes passed. Concern grew. They stepped outside to check on her, only to find an unsettling scene. Lori's grey Volkswagen Rabbit sat in the parking lot, locked and undisturbed. A styrofoam cup of soda rested on the hood of the car, as if she had placed it there just before heading toward the apartment. But Lori was nowhere to be found. There were no signs of a struggle at the scene. Lori's overnight bag and purse remained inside her locked car, leading authorities to believe that if she had left the parking lot willingly, it was likely with someone she knew. It seemed improbable that she had simply walked away voluntarily, as she was excited about her plans with her boyfriend and had left behind all her belongings. Police considered the possibility that she had been coerced or misled by someone familiar, making her case even more troubling as the investigation unfolded. Law enforcement conducted polygraph tests on Lori's close friends and her boyfriend, all of whom passed. Despite their cooperation, no significant leads emerged, and the case grew colder with each passing day. Investigators combed through phone records, financial statements, and social security records, but no trace of Lori was ever found. There had been no activity on her bank account, and no evidence suggested she had started a new life elsewhere.
Over the years, numerous theories have surfaced about what could have happened to Lori. One unsettling theory is that she may have been the victim of an opportunistic individual who took advantage of the quiet apartment complex parking lot. Others have speculated that someone she trusted betrayed her, leading to her disappearance. Authorities have considered various persons of interest but have never gathered enough evidence to make an arrest. In 2010, investigators received a possible lead when a convicted inmate named Larry Hall was suggested as a suspect. Hall had been linked to multiple disappearances of young women across the Midwest, and was known for his obsession with taking and harming women. While some investigators believed he could be responsible for Lori's disappearance, no concrete evidence ever connected him to her case. Another chilling development came in 2017, when a man named Dennis Brander, who had been convicted in another woman's case, was briefly considered a suspect in Lori's case. However, no credible evidence tied him to her disappearance either, and the case remained unsolved. Despite the years that have passed, Lori's family has never stopped searching for answers. Her disappearance continues to weigh heavily on those who knew and loved her. The pain of not knowing what happened to her has left an unfillable void in their lives. Foul play remains the most likely explanation, yet without physical evidence or witnesses, the case remains at a standstill. The lack of DNA, security footage, or even a confirmed direction in which she may have gone has made the investigation nearly impossible to solve. Lori's case serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly a person can vanish without a trace. With no confirmed sightings, no activity on her accounts, and no substantial breakthroughs, her story remains one of Wisconsin's most baffling unsolved disappearances. To this day, investigators continue to encourage anyone with information to come forward, hoping that even the smallest detail could break the case open. Lori Jean DePease remains missing, and her loved ones continue to search for justice, hoping that someday the mystery will be solved and they will finally get the closure they so desperately need. The mysterious time slip of Gil Perez. Gil Perez was an ordinary Spanish soldier stationed in the Philippines, serving as a member of the Filipino Guardia Civil during the 16th century. His life, however, took an astonishing turn on October 24, 1593, when he inexplicably found himself in Plaza Mayor in Mexico City. The sudden and unexplainable journey covered nearly 9,000 nautical miles in an instant, leaving him bewildered and unable to provide any logical explanation for how he had arrived there. This strange event has been widely regarded as one of the most mysterious alleged cases of teleportation in recorded history. When the Mexican authorities encountered Perez, they were immediately suspicious of his claims. To them, it was inconceivable that a man could travel such an immense distance in a single moment. He was promptly arrested and accused of being a servant of Satan, as the supernatural nature of his appearance defied all known laws of nature. During his interrogation, Perez remained steadfast in his account. He stated that just moments before his arrival in Mexico, he had been standing guard at the Palacio del Gobernador in Manila. He explained that he had been resting against a wall when, without warning, he suddenly found himself in a completely different country. At the time, Manila was in a state of political turmoil due to the assassination of Governor General Gomez Perez Dasmariñas by Chinese pirates. Perez claimed that he and his fellow guardsmen had been waiting for a new leader to be appointed following the unexpected killing. His statement initially did little to convince his captors, as they had no means of verifying the information. His sudden appearance and outlandish story were enough to brand him as a potential heretic or sorcerer, and he was imprisoned until further investigation could be conducted. The Mexicans remained highly skeptical of Perez's account until a Manila galleon arrived in Mexico 2 months later. The ship brought passengers who carried news from the Philippines, confirming that Governor General Dasmariñas had indeed been assassinated. Shockingly, one of the passengers even testified that he had seen Perez in Manila on October 23rd, just a day before he allegedly appeared in Mexico City. This astonishing revelation gave credibility to Perez's story, and left authorities in Mexico with no choice but to release him. Despite their best efforts, no logical explanation for his sudden and inexplicable journey could be determined. With the truth of his story confirmed, Perez was eventually sent back to the Philippines. Unlike his sudden and mysterious journey to Mexico, this time he made the return trip by traditional means, traveling aboard a ship across the Pacific Ocean. Upon his arrival, he resumed his duties as a soldier and, by all accounts, lived an uneventful life thereafter. There are no further records of him experiencing any other supernatural events, nor did he seem to seek out any explanation for what had happened to him.
The story of Gil Perez has intrigued historians, paranormal researchers, and skeptics for centuries. While some argue that it is nothing more than an old legend, others believe that his case presents compelling evidence of teleportation, time slips, or some other unknown phenomenon. Some researchers speculate that Perez may have experienced an extreme form of spontaneous astral projection, where his consciousness and physical body were inexplicably transported across the globe. Others consider the possibility that an undiscovered natural force, such as a wormhole or shift in time and space, may have been responsible for his sudden displacement. Skeptics, however, dismiss the tale as either an exaggerated rumor or an outright fabrication. They argue that historical records from the period lack sufficient documentation to confirm the event's authenticity. Furthermore, some suggest that Perez may have been a deserter who invented the story as an elaborate excuse for why he'd been found so far from his post. Without definitive proof, the case remains shrouded in mystery, leaving it open to interpretation and speculation. Regardless of whether the story of Gil Perez is a true account of teleportation or merely a well-crafted legend, it has captivated people for centuries. It raises fascinating questions about the nature of reality, space, and time. If his story were proven true, it would challenge everything we understand about physics and human movement. To this day, the case remains one of the most puzzling and unexplained events in history, leaving many to wonder if there is more to reality than we currently comprehend. The mystery of the Jetpack Man. For years, the mysterious Jetpack Man has baffled the aviation community. First reported in 2020, commercial airline pilots described seeing an unidentified individual flying what appeared to be a jetpack near Los Angeles International Airport. These sightings, occurring multiple times over 2 years, raised serious concerns about air travel safety. Despite investigations by the Federal Aviation Administration and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the identity and nature of the Jetpack Man remain unknown. The first sighting occurred in August 2020 when pilots approaching LAX reported an unknown flying object hovering at approximately 3,000 feet. The incident was particularly unusual because modern jetpacks are not designed to reach such high altitudes or travel long distances. Over the following months, additional reports surfaced. On October 14, 2020, pilots from China Airlines reported spotting a similar figure, this time at an altitude of 6,000 feet. The mysterious figure, described as a humanoid in a flight suit, soared through the sky without any visible means of takeoff or landing, fueling speculation about advanced technology in use. The most significant breakthrough in the Jetpack Man mystery came on December 21, 2020. When a flight instructor from Sling Pilot Academy captured video footage of the airborne figure near Palos Verdes and Catalina Island. While the footage appeared to confirm a humanoid figure in flight, experts debated its authenticity. Some suggested that the object might have been a drone designed to resemble a person in a jetpack rather than an actual human-operated device. One of the biggest challenges in solving this mystery is the lack of solid evidence. Although jetpack technology exists, current models have severe limitations such as short flight times and low altitude capabilities. Most commercial jetpacks can only fly for a few minutes before running out of fuel, making it unlikely that someone could sustain flight at 3,000 to 6,000 feet for an extended period. Additionally, no witnesses ever reported seeing a takeoff or landing, key factors in determining the origins of the sightings. Authorities conducted extensive investigations but were unable to reach a definitive conclusion. Some experts speculated that the sightings were caused by high-altitude balloons or advanced drones, which are becoming increasingly sophisticated. However, no drone matching the description of the Jetpack Man has ever been recovered. Another possibility is that the sightings were part of a secretive testing program potentially involving private inventors or military contractors experimenting with advanced flight technology. If such a device existed, it would represent a groundbreaking technological achievement. However, keeping such an invention hidden from authorities would be highly challenging. After 2022, reports of the Jetpack Man became less frequent, leading some to believe that the phenomenon was either quietly resolved or that the individual responsible ceased operations. Others speculate that the sightings may still be occurring, but under greater secrecy to avoid detection. The mystery of the jetpack man raises important questions about airspace security, technological advancements, and unidentified aerial phenomena. Whether it was an advanced drone, an experimental jetpack, or something entirely unknown, the fact that it remained undetected by authorities for so long serves as a reminder of how much remains unexplored in aviation. Until concrete evidence emerges, the jetpack man will remain one of modern aerospace history's most intriguing unsolved mysteries. Did ancient civilizations use sound technology? For centuries, researchers have speculated that ancient civilizations may have harnessed sound technology to accomplish incredible feats. While no definitive evidence confirms this theory, intriguing clues suggest that ancient cultures may have had a far greater understanding of sound and vibration than previously believed. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from ancient acoustic structures discovered worldwide. Stone circles, megaliths, and pyramids have been found to possess remarkable acoustic properties, suggesting they may have been designed with specific sonic purposes in mind. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza features a complex series of chambers and shafts that appear to amplify sound. Similarly, studies have shown that the megaliths of Stonehenge exhibit unique acoustic properties, hinting at their potential use in rituals or ceremonies. Ancient myths and legends also hint at the use of sound for extraordinary purposes. In Hindu mythology, the god Shiva is often depicted playing a drum believed to have the power to destroy the universe. Additionally, modern research into sound frequencies has shown that vibrations can shape matter into specific geometric patterns, an area of study known as cymatics. Researchers like Dr. Hans Jenny have demonstrated how sound waves can create intricate, structured forms, suggesting that ancient cultures may have understood and applied these principles in their architecture and art. A particularly fascinating area of study is acoustic levitation, which explores the possibility of using sound waves to suspend and move objects without physical contact. This phenomenon relies on standing sound waves that create high and low pressure regions. When an object is placed at the right position within these waves, it can remain suspended in midair, seemingly defying gravity. Scientists have demonstrated acoustic levitation with small objects such as droplets and lightweight materials, but applying this principle to lift massive stones, like those used in ancient monuments, remains a significant challenge. For sound to lift heavy stones, immense amounts of energy would be required to generate powerful sound waves capable of counteracting gravity. The density, shape, and material composition of the stones would also influence their interaction with sound waves, making large-scale levitation impractical with current technology. However, ancient cultures may have had a more sophisticated grasp of these principles than we realize. Archaeological evidence suggests that civilizations such as the Egyptians, Greeks, and Mayans had an advanced understanding of acoustics, particularly in architecture. Ancient amphitheaters, temples, and tombs were designed with precise acoustic properties to amplify and control sound, demonstrating a deep awareness of sound manipulation. Some researchers speculate that this knowledge may have extended to construction techniques, potentially allowing ancient builders to move massive stones with minimal physical effort using sound resonance. One theoretical method involves resonance, the process by which an object vibrates in response to sound waves matching its natural frequency. If an external force were applied at a stone's resonant frequency, it could potentially enhance its mobility. While there is no direct evidence that ancient civilizations used acoustic levitation for construction, The concept remains an area of interest for researchers exploring lost technologies. As our understanding of sound physics continues to evolve, future discoveries may provide deeper insight into how ancient cultures utilized sound and vibration. Whether for construction, ritual, or other applications, the possibility that ancient civilizations harnessed sound in ways we have yet to understand remains one of history's most intriguing mysteries. Ancient sound technology and its mysteries. Historical accounts and cultural myths suggest that ancient civilizations had a profound understanding of sound and its effects on matter. Ancient texts describe the use of sound-based instruments, such as the vimana, an alleged ancient flying machine that generated sound waves for various purposes. Additionally, some cultures believed in the power of chanting mantras and using sound vibrations to invoke divine energies and influence physical objects. It is conceivable that such practices may have been used to move heavy stones through focused sound energy. However, one of the main challenges in understanding ancient sound technology lies in the lack of direct evidence. The passage of time, natural decay, and the absence of comprehensive historical records make it difficult to trace the exact methods and tools used by these civilizations. Furthermore, much of this knowledge might have been transmitted orally or through symbolic representations, making accurate interpretation even more challenging. If ancient sound technology ever existed, it may have been lost over the millennia, leaving us with only tantalizing clues but no definitive answers. Regardless of whether sound technology was used for construction, the architectural marvels of ancient civilizations continue to captivate and inspire. The mysteries surrounding these wonders remind us of human ingenuity and the enduring fascination with uncovering the secrets of our distant past. Stanley Meyer and his water-powered car. Stanley Meyer was an American inventor who claimed to have developed a car that could run entirely on water without the need for traditional fuel. His invention, known as the water fuel cell, was said to use a process called electrolysis to separate water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, which would then power the car's engine. Meyer's claims were met with both excitement and skepticism. Born on August 24, 1940, in East Columbus, Ohio, Meyer later moved to Grandview Heights, where he completed his high school education. Despite being a religious man, he had a strong passion for innovation. After high school, he briefly served in the military before considering enrollment at Ohio State University. Throughout his life, Meyer held numerous patents in fields ranging from banking and oceanography to cardiac monitoring and automobiles. Among his many patents, the one that attracted the most attention and controversy was his invention of a water-powered car. In the 1960s, Meyer developed and patented a device capable of generating energy using water instead of petroleum fuel. He named this invention the fuel cell or water fuel cell. During the 1970s, a sharp increase in global crude oil prices caused fuel costs in the United States to skyrocket, leading to a decline in car sales. The US government faced immense pressure due to reduced oil supply from Saudi Arabia, causing several companies to go bankrupt and dealing a heavy blow to the American automotive industry. In response, Meyer embarked on a mission to create a revolutionary vehicle that could transform the industry. He conceptualized a retrofitted automobile that could run on water instead of gasoline. If his claims were true, this innovation had the potential to reduce dependency on petroleum, save billions of dollars globally, and help combat climate change by lowering air pollution and increasing oxygen production. Meyer later developed a crimson buggy, which became the first demonstration of his water-powered technology. This hydrogen-powered vehicle gained widespread attention as it toured various locations across the United States and was even featured in a local television news report. During an interview, Meyer claimed that his car would require only 22 gallons or 83 liters of water to travel the distance between Los Angeles and New York. However, on March 20th, 1998, Meyer mysteriously passed away while dining with two Belgian investors at a restaurant. He suddenly rushed outside and allegedly exclaimed, "They poisoned me," before collapsing and dying. An investigation by the Grove City Police Department in collaboration with the Franklin County Coroner's Office determined that Meyer had died from a cerebral aneurysm caused by natural factors. Medical reports also indicated that Meyer had a history of high blood pressure. At first glance, Meyer's death seemed unremarkable given his age and medical history. However, many believe he was assassinated to suppress his invention, which posed a threat to the oil industry, major automobile manufacturers, and possibly even government entities. Some speculate that the Belgian investors dining with him may have been involved. Despite the controversies, all of Meyer's patents have since expired, making his technology freely available. Yet to this day, no automaker has successfully incorporated his ideas into a functioning vehicle. The Sphinx has stood the test of time, a silent guardian of ancient secrets, but there's one enigma that has puzzled historians and archaeologists alike: the mysterious hole in the Sphinx's head. Some speculate it was created by treasure hunters, eager to uncover hidden riches. Others believe it might have been the result of weathering or even ancient repairs. Despite numerous theories, the true purpose of the hole remains unknown, adding yet another layer to the Sphinx's enigmatic presence. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of ancient Egypt, the Sphinx continues to guard its secrets, leaving us with more questions than answers. The Great Sphinx of Giza, one of Egypt's most iconic monuments, is believed to have been built during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BC. While the Sphinx has stood as a symbol of ancient Egypt for centuries, many mysteries still surround its construction and purpose. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Sphinx is the large hole in its head, which has puzzled researchers and enthusiasts for decades. Some believe the hole was intentionally designed as part of the original structure, while others argue that it resulted from natural weathering or erosion over time. A compelling theory suggests that the hole once held a sacred object or relic, possibly a crystal or gemstone, used in ancient rituals and ceremonies. This idea is supported by the presence of similar holes in other ancient structures, which may have had religious or symbolic significance. The mystery of the Sphinx's head continues to fuel speculation, reinforcing the enigmatic allure of this ancient monument. Whether the hole was part of an advanced engineering technique, a ritualistic feature, or simply the result of natural wear, the Great Sphinx remains a testament to the architectural brilliance and spiritual depth of ancient Egyptian civilization.
Historical accounts and cultural myths from ancient civilizations suggest that these societies had a profound understanding of sound and its effects on matter. Ancient texts describe the use of sound-based instruments such as the vimana, a legendary flying machine believed to generate sound waves for various purposes. Additionally, some cultures regarded chanting mantras and sound vibrations as a means to invoke divine energies and influence physical objects. It is conceivable that such practices might have been applied to move heavy stones using focused sound energy. However, one of the main challenges in understanding ancient sound technology is the scarcity of direct evidence. Over time, natural decay and a lack of comprehensive historical records have made it difficult to determine the exact methods and tools used by ancient civilizations. Furthermore, much of this knowledge may have been transmitted orally or through symbolic representations, making accurate interpretation challenging. If ancient sound technology did exist, it has likely been lost over the millennia, leaving behind only intriguing clues with no definitive answers. Whether or not ancient civilizations employed sound to move heavy stones, their remarkable construction achievements continue to inspire admiration. The mysteries surrounding these ancient wonders remind us of the boundless potential of human ingenuity and the allure of exploring our distant past. Stanley Meyer was an American inventor who claimed to have developed a car that could run entirely on water without the need for traditional fuel. His invention, known as the water fuel cell, supposedly used electrolysis to separate water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, which were then used to power the car's engine. Meyer's claims sparked both excitement and skepticism. Born on August 24, 1940 in East Columbus, Ohio, Meyer later moved to Grandview Heights, where he completed high school. A deeply religious individual, he had a strong passion for innovation. After briefly serving in the military and considering enrollment at Ohio State University, Meyer pursued various technological endeavors. Throughout his life, he held multiple patents in fields such as banking, oceanography, cardiac monitoring, and automobiles. Among his many inventions, the one that garnered the most attention and controversy was his water-powered car. In the 1960s, Meyer created and patented a device designed to generate energy from water instead of petroleum fuel. He called this invention the water fuel cell. During the 1970s, global crude oil prices skyrocketed, tripling in cost. This surge made fuel prohibitively expensive, causing a significant decline in car sales and sending the American automotive industry into crisis. Facing immense pressure due to reduced oil imports from Saudi Arabia, the U.S. government witnessed the bankruptcy of numerous companies. In response, Meyer embarked on a mission to revolutionize the automotive industry. He conceptualized a retrofitted vehicle powered by his water fuel cell, aiming to reduce dependency on petroleum-based fuels such as gasoline. If his claims were true, this breakthrough could have reshaped the automotive sector, significantly cutting global fuel costs and reducing air pollution, potentially mitigating the effects of global warming. Meyer eventually developed a crimson-colored buggy touted as the first water-fueled vehicle. His groundbreaking hydrogen-powered car gained widespread attention as it toured various locations across the United States. During a televised interview, Meyer claimed that his invention could travel from Los Angeles to New York using just 22 gallons or 83 liters of water. However, Meyer's story took a mysterious turn. On March 20, 1998, while dining at a restaurant with two Belgian investors, he abruptly ran outside, clutching his throat, and reportedly shouted, "They poisoned me," before collapsing. He died shortly after. An official investigation by the Grove City Police Department, in collaboration with the Franklin County Coroner's Office, ruled that Meyer had died of a cerebral aneurysm caused by natural factors. However, some skeptics pointed to his history of high blood pressure, suggesting that his death might not have been suspicious. Despite this, many believe Meyer's invention posed a threat to the oil industry, leading to theories that he was assassinated to suppress his technology. Some speculate that major automobile manufacturers, oil companies, or even government entities may have been involved in preventing the fuel cell from becoming widely available. Others even suspect that the two Belgian investors present at his death may have played a role. Today, all of Meyer's patents have expired and his technology is freely accessible. Yet, no major car manufacturer has implemented his concepts, leaving his invention and the mystery surrounding it an unresolved enigma. The mystery of the hole in the Sphinx's head. The Great Sphinx of Giza, one of Egypt's most iconic monuments, continues to puzzle researchers with its unexplained features. One of the most intriguing mysteries is the large hole in the Sphinx's head, which has sparked various theories for decades. Some researchers believe the hole was intentionally created as part of the Sphinx's original design. Others argue that it is the result of natural erosion caused by sandstorms and strong winds over thousands of years. One theory suggests that the hole was once used to hold a sacred relic or gemstone, possibly for ritualistic or ceremonial purposes. Supporters of this idea point to similar holes found in other ancient Egyptian structures, such as the Pyramid of Khafre and the Temple of Karnak. Another theory proposes that the hole served an astronomical function, aligning perfectly with the constellation of Leo during the solstice. Ancient Egyptian astronomers may have used it to track celestial movements or mark the beginning of the agricultural season. However, Others argue that the hole is simply the result of weathering over millennia. The Sphinx, being exposed to harsh desert conditions, has endured erosion from wind, sand, and temperature fluctuations, which could have gradually carved out the hole. Although numerous photographs show the hole extending deep into the Sphinx's head, no definitive explanation has been confirmed. This mystery remains an unsolved puzzle, adding to the monument's enigmatic history. Traditionally, historians believe the Sphinx was built during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra, around 2500 BCE, as a symbol of divine authority and to guard his tomb. However, some scholars argue that the monument is much older than previously thought, possibly dating back to the early dynastic period, around 3000 BCE, or even further. A key argument for this theory is the erosion patterns on the Sphinx's body, which some experts believe are the result of water erosion rather than wind and sand. This has led to speculation that the Sphinx was built during a time when Egypt experienced heavy rainfall, potentially pushing its age back by thousands of years. Geologist Robert Schoch has proposed that the erosion was caused by groundwater exposure rather than rain, suggesting that the Sphinx dates back to a period when the Giza Plateau was submerged, possibly during the last ice age. However, the mainstream view still attributes the Sphinx's construction to Khafra, as inscriptions and architectural evidence link it to his reign. For centuries, legends have suggested the presence of underground tunnels and secret chambers beneath the Sphinx. Even the Greek historian Herodotus wrote about such hidden spaces in the 5th century BCE. In the early 20th century, French archaeologist Émile Barrès claimed to have discovered evidence of tunnels beneath the monument. More recently, in 1991, geologist Robert Schoch conducted a seismic survey and detected anomalies that could indicate the presence of underground cavities. In 2008, a team led by Zahi Hawass, former head of the Supreme Council of Antiquities in Egypt, used ground-penetrating radar and found several unexplained anomalies beneath the Sphinx, including a possible chamber under its right paw. Despite these findings, there is no definitive proof of tunnels or chambers. Some experts argue that the anomalies could be natural geological formations or misinterpretations caused by the Giza Plateau's underground water channels. As research continues, the Sphinx remains a monument of endless intrigue, reminding us of the many secrets yet to be uncovered in the ancient world. Thanks for watching our video. The mysteries of ancient technology, lost inventions, and hidden secrets beneath the Sphinx continue to captivate researchers and enthusiasts alike. While some theories offer intriguing possibilities, definitive answers remain elusive. Whether it's the potential of sound-based construction, Stanley Meyer's water-powered car, or the hidden chambers of the Sphinx, these enigmas remind us of the vast knowledge that may have been lost to time. As new discoveries are made and technology advances, perhaps one day we will uncover the truth behind these fascinating mysteries. Until then, they remain open questions, fueling curiosity, speculation, and a never-ending quest for knowledge. If you enjoyed this exploration into the unknown, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest secrets.